When Vice President Kamala Harris recently unveiled her economic policy proposals in Raleigh, North Carolina, one of the key features was a proposal to provide up to $25,000 in down payment support for first-time homebuyers. This policy is part of a broader effort to address the ongoing housing affordability crisis in the United States, particularly as housing prices have skyrocketed in recent years. However, while the proposal has received praise for its intentions, many people argue that it may not effectively address the root causes of the housing crisis. At first glance, Harris's proposal to provide $25,000 in down payment support seems like a well-intentioned effort to help first-time homebuyers overcome one of the biggest barriers to home ownership, the down payment. For many Americans, especially those in younger generations, saving for a down payment has become increasingly difficult due to stagnant wages, rising living costs, and skyrocketing home prices. By offering substantial financial assistance, the proposal aims to make homeownership more accessible, especially for low and middle-income families who might otherwise struggle to secure the necessary funds. Moreover, the proposal could be seen as an attempt to address wealth inequality by helping more Americans build wealth through homeownership. Historically, homeownership has been one of the most effective ways for families to accumulate wealth and pass it on to future generations. By making it easier for first-time buyers to enter the housing market, the proposal could, in theory, help reduce the wealth gap that has only widened in recent years. Despite the potential benefits, there is a growing concern that the proposal may not address the root cause of the housing crisis, the lack of housing supply. Some argue that while providing financial assistance for down payments might help some individuals buy homes, it does little to solve the broader issue of housing scarcity. The crux of the problem, they argue, lies in local zoning laws and regulatory barriers that make it difficult, if not impossible, to build new housing in the areas where it is most needed. In many cities across the United States, restrictive zoning laws prevent the construction of multi-family housing units, such as apartments or townhomes, in favor of single-family homes. This limitation on housing types exacerbates the supply shortage and drives up prices, making it even harder for first-time buyers to find affordable options. As one person pointed out, subsidizing development doesn't help us when it's illegal to build apartments in like 90% of the land in cities. Harris has acknowledged the issue of zoning laws in the past, suggesting the use of federal money to incentivize localities to loosen their zoning restrictions. While this is a step in the right direction, folks argue that the amounts proposed are too modest to make a significant impact. In reality, effectively addressing the supply problem would require more aggressive measures that might not be politically palatable, as they would likely anger existing homeowners and local governments who benefit from the status quo. Another major concern with Harris's proposal is that it does not address the growing influence of institutional investors and property management companies in the housing market. Over the past several years, large investment firms have been buying up single-family homes at higher than market values, converting them into rental properties and driving up both home prices and rental costs. This trend has made it increasingly difficult for first-time buyers to compete, as they are often outbid by cash-rich investors. Some argue that simply increasing the supply of housing won't solve the problem, as long as these investors continue to dominate the market. Instead, they propose measures such as prohibiting hedge funds and large property management companies from participating in the single-family home market, or implementing progressive property taxes and land use taxes to make owning rental units less profitable. Such policies, they argue, would help return housing to its intended purpose, providing shelter for families rather than serving as a speculative investment vehicle. One of the most significant concerns about the $25,000 down payment proposal is that it could inadvertently drive up home prices even further. By increasing the purchasing power of first-time buyers, the policy could lead to higher demand for homes, which in turn could push prices even higher. This phenomenon has been observed in other contexts, such as Australia, where a similar program led to a sharp increase in housing prices. Furthermore, The proposal might not address the underlying issue of affordability. While it may help some buyers secure a home, it does not change the fact that housing prices are already out of reach for many Americans. As some noted, the problem isn't the down payment, it's the supply. No one is building starter homes anymore, and it's not because builders don't want to build them, but that cities and communities have made it impossible to build them. To truly address the housing affordability crisis, many argue that a more comprehensive approach is needed, one that goes beyond just offering financial assistance to first-time buyers. This approach would involve tackling the zoning and regulatory barriers that limit housing supply, curbing the influence of institutional investors in the housing market, and ensuring that new housing developments include a mix of housing types that cater to a range of income levels. For example, local governments could be incentivized to reform the zoning laws that favor single-family homes over multifamily units, allowing for more diverse and affordable housing options. Additionally, policies could be implemented to limit the number of single-family homes that can be purchased by investment firms, ensuring that more homes are available to actual buyers rather than being converted into rentals. Finally, a focus on building more affordable starter homes is essential. These homes, which are typically smaller and less expensive than traditional single-family homes, could help bridge the gap for first-time buyers who are currently priced out of the market. However, this would require changes to local zoning laws and building codes to allow for smaller lots and more flexible housing designs. Kamala Harris's $25,000 down payment proposal is a well-intentioned effort to address the challenges faced by first-time homebuyers in an increasingly unaffordable housing market. However, while the proposal may offer some relief, it is unlikely to solve the broader issues that have led to the current crisis. To truly make a difference, policymakers must address the root causes of the housing shortage, including restrictive zoning laws, the influence of institutional investors, and the lack of affordable starter homes. Only by tackling these issues head-on can we hope to create a housing market that is both accessible and affordable for all Americans.